Coming up on today's show, we are on the road again, folks. Exciting stuff. That's right, we're in Canada, north of the border, Niagara Falls, across the bridge and having a great time. Cool stuff, ice wine, food, and the falls. New Day Cleveland starts right now. Welcome to New Day Cleveland. We are on the road again, and guess what? We are north of the border. We are in Canada, and just to help us get around and find our way and find the really great spots, I've got Kevin Forget here. He is with Destination Ontario, and you've sort of planned this trip for us. So where are we going?
We are going. We're going to have a busy show today, and we are so excited that you're here because the border is open.
Yeah,
it's finally open.
And it's easy to get across, too.
It's so easy to get across, and we have been waiting. We've been sitting here at the border waiting to welcome our American friends, and the time is here. So yes, come and see us.
Yeah, the bridge is right over my shoulder. So we drove up here. It took us about 2.5 hours. An easy ride. Jumped in the car, came across the bridge, and man, it is happening on the Canadian side.
It is happening, and so, you know, you can't ask for a better view where we are right now.
No.
We have a view of the American Falls and the Canadian Falls, and it's really busy right now, and because everything's open, we have everything from the Niagara City Cruises, which is going to be that boat tour that everyone sees. They know it as the Maid of the Mist,
right.
But here on the Canadian side, we call it the Niagara City Cruises. You have options. You can get on the boat. You're going to get as close to the falls as you want. You can stay inside and stay dry, but for the adventure seekers, you get right up out front, and you're going to feel the water pretty much hitting you in the face from the falls.
You know, one of the most exciting things for me is I've been here a whole bunch of times when I was a little kid growing up, not that long ago, and you think you know Niagara Falls, but if you've been here a little while ago, you don't really know Niagara Falls. And you know, it keeps changing, and boy, has it exploded on this side of the border.
So many new attractions, everything from the Niagara Parks Power Station. Journey Behind the Falls is one of those classic things that people have been doing for many years, but they've changed up the tour that way.
Yep.
And it's also choose your adventure. Families can come here and do all of the crazy family stuff, but you can also hop in a car about 20 minutes from where we are here at the falls to Niagara-on-the-Lake. And we're talking beautiful sights of the vineyards. We're going to visit a couple of those wineries today and see the winemaking process, the food, and ice wine. You know, it's a beautiful sunny day, but we're also going to throw in some jackets and be 10 below Celsius. I don't know that conversion from Celsius to Fahrenheit. I can just tell you it's going to be cold. That's the only way to test the ice wine.
So many beautiful things to see. You know, if you get in your car and you're driving around, you see all the beautiful gardens. The gardens here are magnificent, but it'd be nice to be able to see it all at once from the air.
Well, there's a way that we could do that.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, David, we are going to hop in the Niagara helicopters. And,
hey, is that great, huh?
And so we're seeing the falls from this angle. We're going to see the falls right in the boats, but then we're also going to head high in the sky to the helicopters, and it's about a 15-minute tour. It's going to take you from the landing pad over both falls, back around to give you the views up there. And I've done it once before.
Yeah.
And it is one of the most spectacular views. You're not going to see Niagara Falls any other way better than from the air.
And any other way sort of stimulates the idea in my mind that if you haven't seen Niagara Falls in a while, you haven't seen Niagara Falls.
You haven't seen Niagara Falls, and really the exciting part is there's so many things happening. Like right now, we have fireworks happening every single night over the Horseshoe Falls every night throughout the entire summer. So no matter when you're going to come visit us, it's going to happen every night at 10 p.m. They light the falls at 9 o'clock, fireworks at 10 p.m. There's performances happening just up the road around where we are here at the Sheridan Falls View Pool Patio. There's Clifton Hill. So even the stuff for the kids. There's the arcades, the haunted houses, the Ferris wheels. So it's really something for everybody here.
I hope we got you excited because this is a lot to be excited about. We're going to have a lot of fun. So let's get this party started.
We have a lot to do.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
You come to Niagara Falls, you want to see Niagara Falls, right? Well, how about behind the falls? That's what we're doing right now, thanks to David, who's the CEO here. So do you own this place or what? You're the CEO.
Well, I'd love to own it, but I'm just the caretaker right now.
Yeah, I tell you, a lot of folks are enjoying this. I wish I had the raincoat concession.
Well, you know, we went to the lower viewing platform today, but you know, it's a bit misty, a bit rainy today, but to go down the lower viewing platform, you'd want the yellow poncho for sure.
So we just walked through tunnels that are how old?
They're over 130 years old. In fact, originally there was a set of staircases that came down here, and then the tunnels were built, the elevator was built from about the 1940s onwards.
Yeah, so you go upstairs, there's this beautiful entrance, journey behind the falls, a lot of stuff to do up there. There's a lot of stuff to do all over Niagara Falls, Niagara Parks especially. But when you get down here, you need the raincoat, and this level below, you're really out in it.
We are. We're right beside the iconic Horseshoe Falls,
Yeah.
just on the north side of the falls. We get the full view of the entire Horseshoe, and then in the distance you can see the American Falls as well, and of course our American friends just across the river as
Right.
well.
I gotta tell you, when I walked out here, I was telling them I was here when I was a little kid. You never forget it. I was here when I was 19. You never forget it. You cannot be here too often. It's just unbelievable.
Because it touches all the senses. You
Yeah.
know, we can feel the power of the falls right now. Of course, we're getting wet, and you can smell the falls too. So
Yeah.
all the senses get touched here.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about stats, like water coming over the falls, that sort of thing. What are people actually seeing? And you feel it too.
So every second, almost 3,000 cubic meters of water are coming over the falls. So we've got great flow coming down the Niagara River, over the Horseshoe Falls, and the lower Niagara River. So spectacular views, the power of the falls.
Yeah.
And this is, again, one of the global iconic locations.
And you can see why. Like I said, you feel that power. When you're up top and you look over the top of this, it's violent.
Well, I always say you have to see the falls from different angles. So now
Yeah.
we're seeing it at the side of the falls. You can go on the boat tour on Niagara City Cruises to experience right beside the falls. You can go zip lining by the falls as well.
Yeah.
And of course, a walk alongside. We also illuminate the falls every night.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks pretty good from the 20th floor of the Sheraton where I'm staying, way at the other end.
It sure
And
does.
I mean, anywhere you go. But the journey behind the falls, it's really special.
Yeah. So we have a series of tunnels that take visitors right here that you're seeing with you and I talking. And of course, we go behind some of the cataracts and the viewing portals too. So it's a wonderful experience.
And it's grown so much. You know, I talk about being here before, but things have changed so much. I mean, there's so many different experiences. So when people come to enjoy these experiences, how do they go about it?
Yeah, so we have a special adventure pass that bundles up all of our experiences like Journey Behind the Falls, Niagara's Fury, the White Water Walk that takes guests by the Class 6 rapids and Lower River. It also includes WeGo bus transportation, makes it really easy to move between the attractions. Then we have the Adventure Pass Plus, which includes the Butterfly Conservatory, the largest in Canada, and our new Niagara Parks Power Station.
That is great. And the other thing that really strikes me is how I see people from all over the world here. All over the world.
Every day, there are visitors from literally, as you're saying, around the world, and you can see all the, hear the different languages.
Yeah.
And people love to see. And, some people had their honeymoon here in Niagara, or they had a special family moment here.
Yeah.
And you describe your early visits to Niagara
Sure.
Falls as well. So you can come often and experience so much here in Niagara Falls.
You know, it's one of those places too, if you come by yourself or with two people or whatever, and you need a picture, people are pretty friendly around here. They're like, here, I'll take your picture.
Well, we were just doing that here on the viewing platform, or Journey
Yeah.
Behind the Falls, because people do want to make sure they get their whole family captured in that moment.
Yeah, and if this isn't action enough for you, you want even more, you walk down a little staircase down here, you walk out onto a platform, and there you can see the different boats that come in here, right up to the Horseshoe Falls.
Or you can do a little wave to
Oh,
the
yeah.
passengers on the boat tours,
Yeah.
and they'll wave back. So it's very friendly here.
And if you see Dave, give him a wave.
Right on.
David, thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Great to see you. Now that you've seen behind the falls, what happens with all that power? Find out next. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. It's our north of the border trip. We are in Niagara Falls, Canada, and it is beautiful. It is a wonder, and that's why so many people come to see it. But at one time, there was one guy that thought there's something we could do that's a whole lot more powerful with the falls. Was that guy's name Tesla?
Yeah, Tesla, that was our man.
Not the car, the
Not-
man.
Yeah, the man, that's
right.
right.
How long
yes.
ago was that?
So these power stations started at the end of the 1800s, and the station we're in right now was built between 1901 and 1905 and was an absolute marvel of technology at its time. Nothing had been built anything like it.
So it was the invention of hydroelectric power.
Yes, it is. And really, it transformed the entire Niagara area. So, from thousands and thousands of years, people have been living beside the Niagara River, and there's, the beauty, the wonder, the majesty. But a man named Tesla thought we could take all that power and transform it. So, what a creative, imaginative man.
And I think it's wonderful too. I noticed the green roof when I came in here, the green roof, and you told me it's because they wanted it to blend in.
That's right.
So this is something that was a new thing, a brand new thing, but they wanted to keep it on the down low.
That's right. So at that time, the Niagara Parks Commission was new, but they were holding a great deal of respect, and they were the cultural stewards and the environmental stewards even back then. So they said, yes, you can build your power station, but it needs to blend into the natural environment. So natural limestone quarried from the area, and then these beautiful green tiles to blend into the natural tree line.
We look through this vast building and see all the generators here, and now people can actually come in here and learn about it and see it and enjoy and hear the stories.
That's right. So we opened last summer, and we welcome guests all the way through. So guests are welcome to tour the generator hall floor, self-guided, or we can provide them with a tour guide. And we've got a great gift shop. And coming soon, so as of July, guests will be able to go down into what is called the tail race tunnel. And that's where all 11 turbines returned all of the water from the Niagara River into a 2,200 foot long tunnel.
That is unbelievable. So I'm sitting up here just imagining what it's like down there. So when we go down below, is it like something that would remind you of the 1800s, or do you see 1930? What do you see and feel?
So everything here we have tried to keep as authentic as possible. So everything's original, all of the architecture is original, all of the generators and governors and air brakes and all of the miscellaneous equipment is everything just as it was built in 1905.
Yeah, so how noisy was it in here when it was really cranking?
Yeah, we've talked to some old staff, and they said, it was pretty hot, it was pretty noisy.
Yeah.
And the further you got down towards the turbines, the noisier it got. So that's one of the reasons they actually didn't put any insulation in the ceiling. They didn't need to. Yeah. It generated so much heat.
I talk about the falls being a wonder, but this building's a bit of a wonder too. You come through that front door, that is the biggest, giant, most heavy copper door I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, they weigh about 3,500 pounds each door.
Yeah.
And we call this the Cathedral of Power. So you probably sensed sort of that reverence when you walked in. And what they want to do, electricity was brand new. It was sort of magic, and people were afraid of it.
They probably thought this guy was crazy doing this.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of people thought everybody was crazy at that time. So they wanted to build a building that made people feel safe and secure, and that's why you see such a majestic building.
It's fantastic. We're only a couple hours from Cleveland.
Yes.
You can jump in your car, you can come here, you can check out the falls, and when you see the falls, it's not just the falls, there's so much more and a lot to do.
That's right, and we now have a new nighttime show here as well. So,
light it up.
Yeah, that's right. So it's called Currents Niagara's Power Transformed. And it's brand new, immersive, and projection technology. And we take this old dormant plant and it comes to life in ways that people don't expect. And it's just magical.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's great. Hey everybody, say hello to Jason Parsons here. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
We're great. We're here at Peller Estates, and this is one of those places where if you come up here north of the border, Niagara Falls, just drive a little bit more, Niagara on the lake, a little bit more, and this is a fantastic spot. Just love it.
It's our little paradise, it's kind of something you discover just as you trip over the border.
Yeah. How long have you been cooking up here?
Oh, well, I've been at Peller Estates for 18 years now, because this is, prior to that, I traveled around the world, worked in different places, but I found paradise, and I have different chefs that come through, and we're changing all the time.
It's a beautiful vineyard, some beautiful wine. So we've got all this lovely wine here and some of your great dishes. And maybe you could describe to folks whichever direction you want to go, which wines are with what dish, and you see some great stuff here.
I'm really passionate about food and wine, and I think that food and wine actually truly need each other. Like, it's one of those things where you can have a dish and it's fantastic, have a glass of wine, it's fantastic, but you put them together and you've got a whole new level. So, like, for example, let's start here in the middle, because this one here is our seafood salad. And what we've done is we've got, like mussels from PEI, we've got scallops from the East Coast, we've got octopus from the West Coast in there, and then we've taken our cuvee or our sparkling wine and made a little vinaigrette out of that. a little bit of caviar, but we've actually paired it with the rosé.
Ah.
You know, our rosé at Peller Estates, it's a bright, crisp flavors, and it really works well with seafood because it brings everything to life, but it doesn't overpower, you know, and that's the thing, is you want things to shine as they are. But then when you move into like the halibut over here, this is ocean wise, which is really important to me, that things are sustainable and, you know, caught in the proper matters. But that is West Coast halibut. You just pan sear it. But underneath is a dish or a dressing that I've been doing for years. It's called vierge. And it's little local tomatoes coming right off the vine, mixed with balsamic vinegar, olive oil, basil, just warmed on there. And then we take advantage of the gardens. You know, snap peas, little snow peas in there, a little local pingway prosciutto, which is fantastic. Right?
Boy, that looks terrific. Hey, some of this stuff are spring vegetables.
Yeah.
We don't have those in August, so the rest of the things must change a bit here.
It does, well, because the thing is we start with hothouses and things like that, so we can get some of the young things going really quickly, you know. And then once the gardens take off, they take off. And we even have a little garden here, tiny.
Yeah.
But it's the toys for the kitchen. So the chefs go out there and we plant our own tomatoes, potatoes, herbs. And it really teaches the chefs respect for the ingredient, you know. So by doing that, when all the ingredients come in, it's showcasing them for what they are. You know.
Hey, so when somebody comes in to pair something, and it's a little different than what you might think. Like maybe they want this, or they like a white wine. How do you help them with that?
Well, the thing for me is, you know, one, we can suggest a pairing. Like this one, we've got the oak aged Chardonnay or Surly Chardonnay. It's a big, bold Chardonnay. It's got a lot of oakiness. It's like almost like vanilla, buttery textures, which is great with the prosciutto and the fat of the halibut.
It's like you're singing a song. It's so beautiful.
Well, you know, but you have all those flavors, right? But the reality is, if someone says, "Well, I don't really want, I want a red wine," well, you've got to drink what you enjoy,
right?
Oh, catching the wind there.
Outdoor dining.
Yeah. But you can move into a red wine, but you're just not going to get into a big, bold red. You're going to go more lighter red, like a Gamay or a Pinot.
So you go more bold with that dish.
This guy's my lamb. I love this guy.
Yeah, it looks great.
You know, lamb saddles are one of those items where they've got a lot of flavor, but they're a little tough. You know, so what we do is we actually roll them. We stuff them first with a little bread and mint, but we actually sous vide it or cook it under a thermal circulator for 4 hours, very slow, so it breaks down all that fat. And then we pan sear it and put it on the plate, and you get this buttery texture of a lamb.
I like your curly cues too.
Yeah, the little fiddleheads. They just came in actually just yesterday.
Yeah.
So again, this is a dish that we don't even really spec the veg because we want to, again, you know, a forager walks in the back door. Hey, can you cook with these? I'm like, absolutely. So we got wild leeks, we got fiddleheads, little carrots, and a little cauliflower, goat cheese, and potato puree.
So you want good wine, great food.
Yeah.
Get to talk to a guy like this who's so enthusiastic. I mean, you're so happy talking about the food. It makes everybody want to grab the knife and fork and go for it.
Awesome. Well,
Peller Estates.
It's all about the good stuff, right?
Yeah, thank you, Jason. Man, you're the best.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Thanks. Peller Estates has more to offer, sipping on something sweet after this. Hey, this is a cool show, right? Well, now we're talking about really cold. We had the great dinner out there, Peller Estates with Jason. Remember, check this out for dessert. You're not going to believe it. You need a coat. Freezing cold in here.
How's it going?
It's like 0 in here or something,
It's minus 10 degrees Celsius.
Another cool guy we're going to meet here. Here's Mark. He's got it going on. And this is all about ice wine. And ice wine is something that I don't know that much about. What's this?
Yeah, so what I'm pouring for you here is our Vidal Blanc ice wine. We're in our 10 below room, and the reason why it's 10 degrees Celsius is that's the temperature you have to harvest the grapes at to make an ice wine. So with this wine that you have here, this is an ice wine. When you look at Niagara on the Lake, that's where we are. Most of the world's ice wine's coming from Niagara on the Lake because we have that really delicate climate, warm summers to grow premium grapes, cold winters to freeze those grapes.
So you pick these when they're frozen and they're
We
cold.
pick them when they're frozen, usually in the middle of the night, because that's when you're going to have the appropriate temperature. So when it gets to that cold, all of the water is freezing out of the grapes. So you're left just with the sugars. So it's very sweet. It's not.
My boat's stuck. No, it's not. I was just kidding.
But yeah, no. So it's a sweeter wine. It's a dessert wine, but it's great with spicy foods. It's great with desserts.
That's what I was telling them. We're talking about dessert wine here, and people say, well, why is it so expensive? It's because the grapes smaller, less juice.
Yeah, you're having to use 10 times the amount of grapes. So if your typical bottle of wine that you think of, a 750 milliliter bottle of wine, is using about 4 to 5 bunches of grapes. This is half the size, and it's using about 40 to 50 bunches of grapes because you're getting one drop of ice wine from each grape, which
It
is
is
not a
a
lot.
delicacy. I'm telling you, it is a delicacy. It's like sweeter than a raisin,
Right.
but it's more sophisticated.
Right, so with the Vidal Blanc, you have there a lot of tropical notes, pineapple, mango, some honey notes, almost like marmalade
It's
qualities
delicious.
there. I've also got the Cab Franc here as well. I'll pour that. That's a red ice wine, very
Great.
unique.
Yeah, so we talked to Jason upstairs. He
Yep.
showed us all the different wines you could have with your food here at Peller
Right.
Estates.
Yeah.
So this is like, you have a dessert course, or maybe you come down here, you put on the coat,
Right.
and you do this, and then Mark will show you what to drink and how to
Yeah.
drink it and why.
Yeah, so basically in here it's just everything is ice. It's 13,000 kilograms or 30,000 pounds of ice. It's a pretty cool space that our
Yeah.
guests get to come and try the ice wine and sort of feel what it's like to be out harvesting these grapes.
So these people got here before me, they're probably pretty stiff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I try not to spend too much time in here, otherwise I look like the end of The Shining. Where
You
I'm
guys
just-
doing okay over there?
We're doing awesome.
See, everyone's having a good time
Yeah,
here.
so this is Cab Franc. This is my favorite, very unique.
Oh.
This is strawberry, raspberry, and rhubarb notes coming through here. To make a red ice wine is very difficult. We're one of the few places that can do it in the world because, again, you need that delicate climate. Like I said, with ice wine, we're making about 90% of the world's ice wine, which is pretty incredible. We're a pretty small
Wow.
region,
Yeah.
but we have that really unique climate there. So
So let's give it a taste.
yeah, cheers. One thing that you can do with this, drink it on its
Whoa.
own, but you can put it in a cocktail as well.
It
Like
has
a martini.
Big flavor.
Yeah.
It is sweet. It is delicious.
Yeah, yeah. So with this, again, the strawberry, raspberry, rhubarb notes, you can use it in place of a vermouth. Make a Manhattan with it. You can pair it with a spicy food. You can pair it with like a cheesecake. You can pour it over ice cream. There's all sorts of different things that you can do with this. Definitely something that's pretty unique with these wines.
Mark, every single thing you said was terrific. What's really great is I can still talk when it's this cold because my mouth's starting to freeze up. But this is delicious. Here we go.
Yeah,
cheers, brother.
Cheers. Double fisting. The only way to do it in the
Thank
Temple
you.
O room.
Peller Estates, a cool spot. Does somebody smell steak in here? You smell steak? What you smell is the best steak in Niagara Falls, Canada. The best steak. That's what they say here at the Crown Plaza Hotel. Hello, John. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Great to have you here.
Great to be here. Prime Steakhouse, and you have cowboys up here in Canada, or what is this?
We got a 22-ounce cowboy steak here, AAA, dry aged for 35 days in house.
35 days.
35
so a lot of
days.
folks say, I want my meat fresh, but this is way better, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it brings out that nice natural nutty flavor, intensifies the flavor, and makes it oh so tender.
Okay, so you have been voted, many organizations, as had the best steakhouse in Niagara Falls. So is that a lot of pressure for you?
It's some pressure, but luckily I have a great team here that rises to the occasion.
This steak is just about cooked now to a nice medium rare.
Yep.
Okay, so you smell the cowboy steak in here? Oh my goodness, it smells good. How about seafood? Do you do seafood?
We got some beautiful scallops here, nice scallops from.
Oh, here they are. Look at that. Should we
East
throw them in the
Coast.
pan?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
How am I doing? Okay?
Awesome. Are you looking for a job?
Yeah.
All right.
You don't wear one of those chapeau things, though, do you? A toque?
We could do that. If that's a deal breaker, we can do it.
No, I'll just get down a little bit because I don't want to hit my head on the fan. Hey, we get these nice seasonings here. What are we gonna do with those?
That's actually, we're going to finish off this dish with that right now. So we're just going to let these sear up a little bit here.
Okay, great. Let's plate these babies up and we'll head over to the table. Well, here it is, the #1 steak in Niagara Falls. Who knows? It might even go across the border into Buffalo, beyond and beyond. So this is an aged steak, right?
Yeah.
Crown Plaza, Prime Steakhouse. So you guys got to remember that. But boy, we discovered some other things here. When you put together these scallops, what kind of jam is that on the top?
We have an onion and bacon marmalade on top of those scallops.
Who doesn't like macaroni and cheese?
Not too many people I know.
Oh boy, I tell you. And what's this with cheese and what?
Nice potato gratin right here.
I love it. And you've got the shrimp cocktail.
Classic.
You know, you said you were going to make a shrimp cocktail. I thought I was going to see that thing in the glass with the red horseradish and all that kind of stuff. No.
No, we got to do a little bit of a twist here with some nice Caesar cocktail sauce.
I love that. And where are those Brussels sprouts from?
Brussels sprouts are locally in Ontario here with some Ontario maple and smoked bacon.
And these ducks aren't going to be walking around anymore, huh?
No, and they got slathered up with some peach jam.
It's great. Hey, you know what I noticed here? There's no shades for the windows.
Gotta have the view.
You gotta have the big time view. Is that beautiful or what? It is fantastic. It is a great spot here, and I think we should try this.
An Ohio favorite and a Canadian staple when we come back.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. It's our north of the border road trip, and we are in Niagara Falls, Canada, and it is fantastic. We're at Falls View Indoor Water Park. You can see the falls, you can have some fun in the water. The kids are having a great time. Kids of all ages, that's right. And it's right in the middle of all the great hotels, a great place to visit. Now, I think right now these kids are getting a little hungry. I'm getting a little hungry. How about some barbecue? Check it out. Hey, I think I found it. Is this Billy Bones?
Yes.
Billy Bones. So I want you to meet the chef Mohit, right?
Yes.
So how long have you been making barbecue?
Oh, it's been 4 years now since we opened, so
Yeah.
we've been in here for a while.
I heard a lot
Yeah.
about it. I heard a lot about it. So I heard
It's good.
I heard your sauce on the ribs. Let's check out your ribs.
Sure.
Let's see what you got going on here. Check this out, folks.
So here I got the brisket in, so we do it for 12 hours, and that's overnight. We put the brisket and the pulled pork. It cooks and then it comes out at the same time. So the ribs are like smoked for 3 hours.
So what kind of those St. Louis style?
So these are St. Louis styles, 40-44.
Boy, they look great. Hey, so you got this big party going tonight. What's on the menu for the party?
So it's a big menu. So I got some ribs, I got some mac and cheese balls, we got some mozzarella sticks, we got some salads, we got lots of stuff going on.
Look
today.
at those babies go.
So it's all the filament, all the ligament in there. It's burning so that now it will fall off the bone when you bite into it.
Yeah. So you know what you're doing, brother.
Yes.
I see they got like a giant robot-looking still back there. So they actually distill the booze in here.
Yes. So we do our own booze during the winters, and then we are ready for the summers to go.
That's great. So you got people making drinks. Or what are the most popular drinks?
So we have milkshakes on the menu, and now
Milkshake?
it's been popular for now.
Yeah.
It's for the desserts.
Yeah.
So instead of the desserts, we have the milkshakes going because people ask more for milkshakes. It's hot in there.
Yeah.
It's like 30, 35 degrees, so you need to have milkshake. Something
I
to
love
cool
that 35
down.
degrees. We're from Cleveland, so the 35 degrees sounds cold to us, but 35 degrees in Canada is hot.
Oh yeah, it's hot for us.
That's it. Like these ribs are hot.
Yeah.
So now you start saucing.
This is saucing it so that I give a good mark on one side.
Hey, so it's Billy Bones. You're the chef.
Yes.
What's the name of the distillery?
So it's Niagara Distillery.
That's right. And don't forget the milkshakes.
Oh yeah, milkshakes are on the way.
Hey man,
It's been
great
ready.
stuff, man. Hey, thank you very much.
Sure.
Are you ready for something sweet? I am always ready for something sweet. What is the sweetest thing in Canada?
Maple syrup.
Maple syrup, or it might be Bridget here at Maple Leaf Place. And I tell you, we're right on the river, a couple miles from the falls, and this is a great stop because they got all kinds of crazy stuff here. You pull up, they got a place to eat, they got a giant wooden moose that somebody made with chainsaws. It's a pretty crazy place, isn't it?
Yes.
Crazy too, also, because right behind you, what's going on here?
This we bottled maple syrup.
So this would be like souvenir bottles, maybe, huh?
Yes, it is, because it's very Canadian.
Uh-huh. So we got these little bottles here, so you get an idea that this we're in front of the circus. Behind this wall, they've got all kinds of pumps and all kinds. You're cooking, you're roasting, you're doing it all, right?
Yes, we got to cook it, we have to filter it, then we got to measure it. So it gives us we pour a little bit in a glass bottle. That little glass bottle we'll put into a little machine. The machine will shoot lights through it, and it'll give us numbers. Numbers will tell us if it's golden, amber, or dark.
Oh, so the machine helps you make it like that.
Yes.
So that sounds great. So we see the little bottles like we're looking at right there. So these are the ambers, but I jump up here and I see this beautiful little can, which that would be a great little thing to take home, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So nice. But it says dark.
Dark
So the machine said that batch was dark. What's the difference between the dark and the amber?
Dark Ribose has more of a maple flavor because it's been in a tree longer and the days are getting warmer. So for that you can use it to marinate your meat, cooking, baking.
Wait. So which ones do you put on your pancakes?
Amber is your most rich flavor. It's the most popular one for pancakes and waffles.
Pancakes and waffles. But you get to the dark, you could put it on your pancake or waffles, but you say it's also like really good with salmon.
Yes.
And you put it on meat also?
Yes, Brussels sprout, chicken,
Oh, I love that.
pork.
The Brussels sprout idea is great. Pork is good too. You
Yes.
can put it in your barbecue sauce too. I think that'd be pretty good, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we got that. And how about gold? That must be like really
Gold,
good.
gold is the first one to collect the sap from, so it's very light tasting. It's good in your coffee instead of sugar.
So what's this guy doing here?
He's making taffy.
Taffy.
Taffy is we boil the gold maple syrup, then we pour it on ice and we make it into a lollipop.
So I can pick this up out of here?
Yes, for sure.
So when people come to visit you here at Maple Leaf Place and they're trying to figure out what they want to buy, they can come in here and they get a little sample taste?
Yes.
Are there other sample tastings around here too?
Yeah, 3 different flavors of maple syrup that we bottle here on premises.
So we have a tasting. It's like going to a winery or something, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're going to taste this, which side do you start from and why?
From the handle, because you always start with the light tasting. So you'll start with the gold, the amber, the dark. The dark has more of a maple flavor, so you wouldn't want to start with that one.
That sounds terrific. Okay, so that way you figure out what you want to buy. Maple Leaf Place, I mean, you got all the flavors here so you can get them. And how about beer? I see it right there, so I got to
Yes.
ask about it, right? Look at this, folks. Maple Leaf Place beer.
It's made at Ridgewood for us.
Beautiful. So you can't get the beer in here, folks, but you know where you get it? Right next door, there's a food court, and they also serve the most popular Canadian food, and what is that called?
Poutine.
Poutine. Poutine is like little cheese curds on french fries, gravy.
Yes. Yes.
Bridget, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You've educated me.
Back to the vineyards, another spot in Niagara on the Lake after this.
Well, we talk about the falls being one of the great wonders of the world, but to me, if you come up here to Niagara on the Lake especially, it's all about the wine, and Jackson Triggs is one of those places. You pull up on this place and it is one of the most beautiful wineries I've ever seen. Phil is the winemaker. I got that right?
You did, sir.
I gotta tell you something, this is something. So how many acres are we looking at?
Here we have planted 11.5 acres.
But when you talk about Jackson Triggs, we're talking about one of the biggest wine producers in the country.
Yeah. We have thousands of acres across this region.
Hey, so what's going on? We got dandelions here. What's going on with this?
The dandelions are here. They're giving us a bit of a cover crop, give us a lot of nutrients in the soil to let these vines grow big and strong.
And they have started right now. So what are we growing here? What will they become?
This is Chardonnay, and it's actually going into our sparkling brut, our champagne style sparkling, and we'll have an opportunity to try that in just a second.
Hey, so when I walked in the building, this building was built like 2001, but it looks like it's still futuristic.
It's state of the art. It was built by a company called KPMB Architecture, and they made it look like a modern day barn.
It is just fantastic. You walk in here and you get a chance to walk through the place. I walked into a room that was like stainless steel for like football fields and football fields. How much wine is in that room?
We have about 100,000 liters, sorry.
So that's a lot of wine.
That's a ton of wine.
Yeah, and then I saw the barrels downstairs and great places to sample the wine and all that. But what really was remarkable to me is you guys really specialize in the sparkling wines here.
We do indeed, yeah.
So what do you got going?
So here we have our Brut. This is our traditional champagne style sparkling wine. And then we do something a little bit different. We have a sparkling Merlot, fully red sparkling wine.
Okay, what do you like?
I like them both.
He's the winemaker. What?
I gotta love them all, that's the thing. I think on a hot summer day with the barbecue going, burgers flipping, the sparkling Merlot is great, but for any sort of celebration, the Brut's where it's at.
Should we start the band giving that cork music?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and so we're out here in the vineyards. It's a little windy, so we took the stems off the glasses.
We
What do you think about
did.
that? That way they don't tip over on us like that.
Exactly.
I gotta tell you, walking through this place was remarkable. I've been all over the country, been to Europe, been to all these wineries. This is really a special winery, isn't it?
It is. It's really state of the art, and I mean, here in Canada, we make some of the best wine. It's all cool climate. Something like this, it really shows off the minerality that you can pull from the vineyards here. And so, cheers.
Tiny bubbles, huh?
Tiny bubbles.
It's all about the tiny bubbles. It's fantastic.
So this actually sits in bottle for 3 years on lees during a second
You're a very
fermentation.
patient man.
I have to be. And with that, you get that really nice brioche, that biscuity kind of character, lots of fresh apple peel in there as well.
You know, for being very dry and crisp, it's got a broad taste to it.
It does, and that's that lees, that contact in the bottle for the second ferment really broadens out the mouthfeel and makes it a super complex wine.
That's terrific. So this is the one you were talking about too, that's made from Merlot.
Yes, yeah, we'll try that one next. It's
So
a
is that,
different
is that
beast.
Merlot grown in this area also?
It's grown here in Niagara-on-the-Lake. It's not grown here at the property, but the difference is this goes through a fermentation on skins, so it gets a lot of color from those skins, and then it goes into barrels for a few months, picks up some oak influence, and then finally, same thing, traditional method, we're putting it into the bottle for the second ferment.
Safety, you see him turn around so he didn't shoot me with the cork? I like that. You're a friendly man too.
I try my best.
Talk about friendly.
As long as you say good things about the wine, I won't shoot you with any
I
of the
can't say
corks.
anything. How can you say something bad about this place? It's unbelievable. And I see you even have people come out here for entertainment too.
Absolutely. Concert series this summer. Great Canadian artists from around the country. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, isn't this a sight to see?
Oh, it's so
Sparkling
beautiful. Look
red.
at that.
Something that you serve chilled. Great for a hot summer
Boy,
day.
it's got such a beautiful color.
Yeah. You get that nice kind of vanilla smokiness from the oak, but tons of that red fruit as well.
Hey, you jump in the car in Cleveland, folks, and you come riding up here and you want to check out a winery and really enjoy some great wine, some wonderful people, and a great, great experience. Jackson Triggs is a spot right here, and you'll be friendly to the people from Cleveland, won't you?
Absolutely. Come say hi, folks.
He's Canadian. They're great people. Hey, thank you very much, man.
No worries, David.
Well, we are in a magical place right now. It's the only way I could possibly describe it. And I know someone who can do better, Jessica Bond. She's here at the Butterfly Conservatory. And we've only been here a few minutes, and already I'm like just staring and gaping. It's unbelievable.
Yes, we try to evoke a sense of wonder. You can see that in our guests. So not only with the butterflies, but the tropical paradise itself, right? There's a whole package in here.
Yeah, it is just incredible. And everywhere you look, you see something that's different. I mean, if you love plants, you're going to love this place. But the butterflies, it's magic.
Yep. So not only do we have a tropical collection, so we have a living tropical plant collection, we also host over 2,000 free-flying butterflies and 45 different species of butterfly.
So I see people walking through here of all ages, and they're all just like slack-jawed.
Yep.
Like, it's wonderful.
Well, that's the nice thing about this place is it offers something for everyone of all ages, but it also offers a different experience. Some people are excited, some people come here for a tranquil experience. So everybody kind of gets their own take when they're here.
Yeah. How excited do they get if one happens to land on them?
Oh, that is the goal, I think, here. You'll see many of the guests, especially the children, hoping a butterfly lands on them.
How long do these butterflies live, and what's it like just to maintain this conservatory?
So, well, it's a lot of work. It's, 365 days a year. We're open all the time. And the butterflies, most of them only have a 2 to 3 week life cycle. So not only do we breed some in-house, but we also have shipments coming from all over the world, like El Salvador, Costa Rica, and that's every 2 weeks to keep our supply up.
I saw a little window on the other side of the jungle,
Yep.
and they're all hanging upside down, and there's little holes. What's that?
So that's our emergence window. As I mentioned, we produce about 40%, but the other 60 come in from other places. They're shipped in as a chrysalis. We pin them to the window, and then when they're ready to go, we open the window every few hours throughout the day, and guests get to enjoy that.
Yeah, it's really something. Are people superstitious at all, or they have?
There's a lot of people that believe in a spiritual connection with the butterflies. There's a lot of associations that it's lost
Look at
souls
that.
of loved ones. What are the odds of that? And this is what everybody comes for.
This is unbelievable.
The opportunity to have a butterfly land on them.
So does it mean anything?
We always tell the guests it's good luck, but I always say it must mean a good aura if the butterflies are comfortable and land
Wow,
on you.
that's so exciting.
Yeah, that is.
That's pretty crazy. And I see some giant ones up there too that's clinging, going to the light. There might be a moth, huh?
So we have some atlas moths. We also have larger butterflies like the owl, as well as our most popular species, which is the blue morpho, which just landed on you.
That is something else. So, okay, they got to eat something, right?
Yes.
So what are they eating here today?
So we have two things. So not only are we producing fruit trees, because butterflies just eat nectar, we also have nectar source in some of our plants. So our purple flowers, or stackies, that's a nectar source for the butterflies.
So somebody who likes tropical plants, this is as interesting to them as the butterflies are magical to others.
We have a plant collection. Everything's documented and mapped in here, and everything in here has a purpose. So yes.
So how do you maintain something like this? I mean, you've been here how many years?
I've been here about 10 years. We have a team. We have 2 entomologists as well as 3 growers. So they maintain the gardens as well as the entomology team with the butterflies.
So people are starting to gather around a little bit, and they're all like hoping a butterfly will land on them.
That is the big goal. We always say dress in bright colors. That tends to attract more of the butterflies for those that are interested in that experience.
Okay, folks, so we saw the butterflies. That's what we're going to do after the break. We are going to actually fly ourselves over the falls. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. We are north of the border. We're in Niagara Falls, and I thought we were going to get even a little more north by going straight up in the air with Niagara helicopters. And I'm here with Renee. You're the pilot.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over Niagara Falls. How long a trip is this, and what's it going to be like?
Our regular trips are 12 minutes, and you're going to have the most spectacular views in the area.
Okay, let's climb in the helicopter. We get in the helicopter, and we're ready to take off. How does the trip begin for the folks out there?
They start up with our check-in. It's first come, first serve, so they are going to be in and out pretty quickly, and it's super exciting. We're very fast and efficient. That's our trademark, and we're going up 12 minutes, show you the best views around the area. It's going to start right off the bat with beautiful sights. You can see Toronto from here on a beautiful clear sky, and we got that today for sure. And then we go up the river, all the way up to the falls. You can see left and right, there's numerous sites that you can see, the whirlpool, all the bridges that connect USA to Canada. And then obviously the highlight, we're gonna come up to the falls, right?
I really enjoy your commentary in the air. The commentary in the air is fantastic.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times.
Yeah. So you go up all the time. What keeps the job exciting for you?
The flying part, obviously, interacting with people like you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's great. Every day is different, right? Not only with the flying part, but like I said, never know what shows up. I also do some search and rescue around here, so you never know what the day is going to bring you.
Yeah, I've been up in the air a couple times in helicopters, doing little traffic and that sort of thing, but I've never had an experience like flying over the falls.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. Yeah, well, let's go and have a look.
United States of America, and everything on the right-hand side is Ontario, Canada. It is so different to see it from the sky. Yeah, and everything shrinks a little bit. Yeah. I think this is the only way to really appreciate what the water looks like approaching Horseshoe Falls. Oh yeah, no, you, like I said, got the grand picture, right? Yeah, that is amazing. There you go, we're going to be climbing up a little bit here. Now everybody on the left is going to see most of Ontario here, the city of Niagara Falls. Well, this is a great opportunity to understand what it's like around the falls. It's a fantastic experience.
Exciting time for me. So what do most of the guests say when they get out of the helicopter? Are they a little wobbly or what?
No, yeah, a little wobbly. Some of them are, yeah, but generally speaking, they are just full of excitement, right? It's the adrenaline pumping still. I think that pumps for the rest of the day.
It does,
right?
it does.
Yeah.
Niagara helicopters, I gotta tell you, I've had a lot of experiences flying around cross country, all that kind of stuff, but this is extra special, man. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Not my favorite part of the show. This is where we have to say goodbye, but boy, do we have a great time north of the border here in Canada at Niagara Falls. We've seen the falls from above, below, behind, just about everywhere. Some great food, some wonderful stuff, and I know you can't remember it all. So if you go to fox8.com, you can find out where all these wonderful places are and enjoy it, and I'm sure you will. I tell you what, you Canadian folks, they're a lot of fun. Good stuff here. I'm David Moss, and I'll see you on the next New Day Cleveland.